What is up, Need for Speed racers? It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut, and we are here with the Chevy Corvette ZR1. I honestly thought there was no good Corvettes for the longest time, and then my man Nil came to me. He's like, "Yo, dude, did you see the Corvette?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Dude, we got one. It's actually not bad." I was like, "Yeah, it sucks because we can't do this, can't do this." He goes, "Nope, it's got enough to make it work, and it's got an okay top speed. It does good in S. Just try it." I was like, "All right, let me give it a go." It's pretty good. It's right in there with the 488 GTB, the Z4 BMW, the M4 BMW. It's kind of like that mid-tier. It's not super meta, but you'll go slay pub lobbies with it, no problem. It'll do 195 with rev tech, so it's got some legs on it. It bounces off the rev limiter around 188 if you're just full speed, so you kind of got to rev it up to get where you need to be. But overall, it's a good car. It's got really good catch-up ability because it's got good acceleration. Doesn't handle too bad. We had to make some considerations to kind of get everything to fit just right, so it's not like premium perfect tier, but it is as good as you can make this car go at S-Class, and it is quite fast. So big ol' shout out to Nil, always developing stuff, pushing through, and getting cars that I thought and I had written off and bringing them back in. So it's great to have him doing that. He is my main man. There's a reason that my alter ego is called Nil Bot, because my man Nil Kappa is my boy. So thank you to him. Shout out to Unc RC putting the music together. So he put this one for me. It's Dirty Me, as he calls it. And let's dig into the build. Thank you guys so much. Hey, click the like button right now if you haven't. And I'll tell you again at the end of the video if you forget right now. It helps me out. Let's dig into the build. That's why you guys are here. I also have gameplay footage later. Alright, so for the engine on this one, it's the fifth motor over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is the 6.2 liter V8. 755 brake horsepower when we start, and we take it up, guys. For the parts, you are going to be running Elite everything across the board in this motor, which is exciting. So Elite Platinum induction, Elite Platinum ECU, Elite Platinum fuel system, Elite Platinum exhaust, Elite Platinum centrifugal supercharger. I'll talk about that in a moment. Sport Bronze nitrous bottle. You are going to be running Elite Platinum regular suspension. This is one of the trade-offs that we had to do to make the car all fit in the class and be happy with itself. The road just takes it out of the class, and there's not much we could do, and we were fighting for top speed with this car. So the road, actually, to make it fit, you have to take off some performance parts, and you lose that top end, and you need it in the S class. You've got to be able to do 190 or more. So regular suspension, you guys, not the road. For the brakes, you get to do super gold brakes. For the tires, Elite Platinum grip tires. Clutch, Sport Bronze clutch. For the transmission, you are running the 5-speed Sport Bronze transmission. For the differential, Elite Platinum diff. We're full Beyonce on this one, you guys. For your auxiliaries, you're going to run nitrous drift, nitrous grip. We're doing those micro drifts. That's the way around blue collar. We're moving. We started doing blue collar times as a team doing stuff. I've got a 158. Other guys are pushing it down to like 155, 156s. Hex did a 150 flat. He's an alien. He beat Cube's time. So we started running blue collar just to like see how far we could push it. And oh my God, these guys are just nuts. So we've been having a lot of fun with that. I think a 208 in this car on blue collar, and it's not a clean run, but it is a decent run. It shows you that the car can perform. So if you drive it right and you don't make any mistakes, this is a 205, 202 blue collar car, pretty easy. For the handling, full Beyonce, 100% to the left, steering sensitivity. I'm 2 clicks high. You guys do you, whatever's comfy. Hex, when he did his super fast blue collar time, he was all the way over here. So find what works for you and make it work, you guys. Downforce, go to the middle, back it off 1. That is 329. You can go a couple different places with this. Really, you want to be at a 329, but you want that top speed to say 188. So that way you're bouncing off of 188 as opposed to other spots. So I'm kind of just to the left of center, a little lower on the downforce. You can go all the way low with it. It doesn't make a huge difference on this car. I really didn't notice a lot, so I was kind of just default middle of the road, but that was me. You might do some testing, maybe not. traction control off, drift entry, brake tap. Now, that is going to be the build portion of this. I've got gameplay footage after this. I told you I'd come back to the centrifugal. The reason that we chose the centrifugal on this, you guys, is specifically for top speed. This engine and build configuration, you don't have to have the Sentry in it. You can run a screw, you can run the turbos, but look what it does to the top speed, you guys. We're losing top speeds. Now we're down 179, 183, 179. You get the Sentry in there, 188. It'll redline tech up to 195. I show you that on the Rapid Transit run that I've got. With the screw, you have to take off some of the performance parts to make it fit, so it really does about 179 once you do that. With the turbo, same deal. You have to take off performance parts to get it to fit. So overall, the Sentry gives you the most top speed out of this build, out of any of the parts we can put on there for forced induction. That's why we're using it. It is the lackluster induction that we can put on the car, but it gave us the best opportunity to get the most top speed out of the build, and that's why it's there, you guys, because the stats are no joke on this thing. 1072 on the horsepower, 924 on the torque. It doesn't need power. You can get away with any of these. We are chasing that top speed number, and that's why we went with it. So all elite platinum parts plus the Sentry puts us right in there. It's easy to make, expensive to build, and overall it gives you a car that performs pretty well. Stay tuned for the gameplay footage. It's alright. It's actually a little different than some of the other gameplay footage I normally give you guys. I mess up and crash all over the place, but still win my races because this car's got some catch-up ability, and if you've got a good driver mod, you're going to be able to bring it back. So keep that in mind. Some cars, we call them momentum cars, whereas once you're up to speed, they carry speed very well through the corners. They don't bleed a lot of speed. They boost really well. But if you crash, that's kind of your race because it's hard to get back up to the speed, and you lose a lot of time with those mistakes. This is not really one of those cars. It gets up to its top end fairly quickly, and it does a pretty good job of staying there. So really, this car can get you out of bad situations. If you hit some traffic, you hit a tree, you get involved with the train on rapid, you can come back from that. So I'm going to show you guys that here in a little bit. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Help me out. I'm growing this small channel, and you guys are growing with me. I'm in the Discord every day. My Discord is thriving. We've got people in there all the time racing. We've got the blacklist still happening. Go run your 605 on Shapeshifter, get a part of that. I'm going to be doing a blacklist update later this week sometime. Give you guys a pulse check on who's made it into the pool, who's racing, who's got their wins. It's a lot of fun. In addition to that, we play a lot of different game types. We fill up servers. I mean, we're very, very active in the Discord for Need for Speed. It's not dead. A lot of Discords, like, you can go over there and you can scroll up and you can see the last week in just one scroll up page. Whereas I would challenge you to go find the beginning of this week, and it's Tuesday. You gotta have to scroll up for like an hour. Like, these guys are always chatting, always active in there. We have a lot of fun. Last bit of housekeeping before I turn you over to the gameplay footage. I started a Patreon. A lot of people showed interest in supporting me outside of the Twitch space and outside of the Super Chat space. And it is the best way for you guys to support me if you're interested in that. Patreon, I get a majority of the donations. Like, I get a huge percentage of it. I get 92%. Whereas if you support me on Twitch, I only get half. And if you support me on YouTube, I only get half. So I get a way bigger margin of that, and so people can support me directly. I've got lots of different tiers. There's nothing special there. It's literally like, you help me, and that is the end of our transaction. I help you by bringing you the builds, hopefully offering you some entertainment, but I don't have tiers of where, like, you get B footage or B-roll or special builds or access to a different channel or a direct line to me in any other way. I interact with everybody the same. If you want to hit me up, come to the Discord. I'm easy to get a hold of. I'm not a hard guy to find. Thanks, guys, so much for supporting me and being with me during this. It's fun. I'm blowing up. I'm having a great time with it, you guys. And we have a Corvette now, so that's pretty damn cool. Big shout out to Nil once again. Stay tuned for the gameplay footage, you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. Alright, first race. Get high tonight. This is a fun one. It's got a very technical corner in it that really throws off a lot of people. So if you know the lines, you know how to get through. It works pretty good. I've already pre-shifted. You'll see me kind of tapping the bumper there, making sure the car's in the right gear. Start in third gear with this car. Launches pretty hard. If you're running automatic, just get a perfect start. Use all your nitrous. Make sure you get through the gears. If you are running automatic, I would recommend using your NOS after you're in second or in third. That way you get the most out of it. So we've got our yellow boost. I'm saving it, just drafting, just hanging out until we get to about that section, so that way I can make the corner and use it to get ahead. Now you'll see me, I'm kind of twitching back and forth. I'm tapping the brake there to get the boost, so that way I can cut tight through that corner and make that checkpoint. That's not the cleanest way through there, but we'll take it. Through here, we're just maximizing to wait till we're on the back hill slope, and then I hit the boost to accelerate downhill. This is that tight corner. You want to be on the brakes. You want to just barely slide into that portion of the checkpoint. That way you can stay on the road for that tight right turn. Here, we drop down a gear. We just take it nice and smooth, get a nice grip turn. The car's a little drifty with that suspension. It's not bad. It's very predictable. It's easy to handle, but it does take a little getting used to. With it only being a 5-speed, this is a good car to learn manual, you guys, because you're only shifting 3, 4, and 5. And really the car lives in 4th and 5th gear for most of the race. You get into the tighter corners, you drop to 3rd, but that's about it. Here we're staying clean with traffic, dipping to the left right there, praying there's no traffic there. Staying to the outside, looking up the hill to make sure there's no cars. There was one. I boost through here, get a little offline, clip the tree. I didn't have my marker set up very well. That is going to allow Dr. Elmo to gain on us in that McLaren. He's going to come around us here shortly. He's got a lot of momentum, got a lot of speed. Here he comes. Now this is where that LT 600 should walk us, because that's a very fast car. We do get a nice grip turn, a little bit of a micro drift there. I use all of my boost, all of my NOS to get back up to speed. And it's hard to see on the map, but you can see it up on the left, the yardage. We are walking Dr. Elmo. His car's faster than ours if he has any kind of decent build in that 600, but because we got a micro drift and we used our resources to get up to speed using max acceleration, we take the W. So even this car is not perfect and you make some mistakes, you can still win in it. A 2-minute flat on Get High tonight is not a good time. We are pushing that into the sub 50s for sure, but just keep in mind that's not bad. All right, rapid transit. I crashed a couple times in this playlist, but I want to show you the car's catch-up ability, as I call it. And that's with, if it wrecks, you can still get back up to speed and stay in the race. A lot of cars that are momentum cars, you really can't do that because they take so much longer to build up that momentum, build up that speed. Watch the car good and hard in third. Use the nitrous to get up to speed. Stay in the left lane. I'm checking on that McLaren. I believe Dr. Elmo runs an automatic build, so he got a really good launch there. That McLaren is no slouch, but we're going to make it work. There's nowhere I can go. I try to squeak in there, barely clip the pole, and don't get a reset. And I'm like really frustrated at this point. I'm like, gosh, I'm going to have to do this whole playlist again or do something else so I can at least get 3 races of gameplay footage. And I was like, well, you know what? Let's just see if I can pass everybody back and go from back to front. You'll see how fast we're walking those guys right there. They come out of the corner. They really don't even make that bad of mistakes. But because we've got over 1,000 horsepower, this car, it accelerates pretty hard. So we're going to get a good grip turn here. Now, through the tracks here, you guys, you want to kind of be on these train tracks as long as you can before you make that cut over. If you do it right, it'll give you a little grip turn, and then you can carry that yellow bar all the way to here and then use it on the acceleration for the exit. I'm not sure what those guys are doing, so get a nice grip turn, pass them on the inside, and now we're back in second. We just got to go find Elmo. He's up there. He's not a bad driver in that McLaren. I bet you Elmo wins a lot of races, but you know, when you race with Cornnut and the crew, you find yourself amongst the little faster guys usually. So he boosts out. We're going to use our 3 boost once I'm lined up. I like to try to use the boost in a straight line to give the car the maximum acceleration as possible to get up to speed. You'll see that 188 top speed. That's what this car does when you're redlined, just full gas. He wrecked early, clipped the train, got a faster reset. We hit the parked car, it rolled the car and took a little longer to reset, giving Elmo a nice advantage. So he made a good call and clipped the train early to get the reset, and I was kind of delaying, seeing if I could squeak through there. Boozius right here, he was not wanting to play very nice. He didn't want us to come by, so I give him a little love tap and let him know that we're not going to see him anymore. All right, we got 1 lap left. We're going to try to reel Elmo in here. I know that I've got better usage of my resources, but he's still driving pretty good. So we get a nice grip turn here, and a drift. You'll see that I wait till I got the almost 2 bars and then I use it right away. It gave us the grip turn. That was 3 bars. Now we're up to speed. We're using that 1,000 horsepower immediately. We're going almost top speed before we hit the first bridge. We're coming to the left here. I'm staying on the left-hand side trying to get oncoming. I was trying to sneak into his draft, but that wasn't happening. So we kind of stay on the tracks here. You want to try to be on the train tracks themselves so that way you don't lose speed. That McLaren bleeds a ton of speed through there. We're going to use our boost, get back, and we are going to slowly, steadily walk away from Elmo. That is a first to last to first with 2 train interactions. The time is not good, but the car does accelerate really hard, and it will put you back in the race if you do make a mistake, and that's what I'm trying to showcase here. 258 is trash. I do a 231 in the 71 Skyline, so this is not a fast run, but it does showcase the Corvette's acceleration. All right, last race of the playlist. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this stuff. You'll see that I was tapping the bumper there earlier to get the car into gear. I look and see that we're in 4th, downshift to 3rd, so that way we can get a good launch and just get a perfect start and go into that. This is not a fast blue collar time. This isn't a flawless blue collar time. Like I say, I've got it pushed down to about a 158 right now in the F40, but you can micro drift in here. You want to use your boost on exit. It should award you a grip turn there. For whatever reason, it waited and delayed, so I'm going to save that for this corner. Hit it, cap it, use that acceleration up the hill. Should give me another grip turn there, a little small one. Micro drift, hopefully get that 2nd bar, use it on the exit. You'll see that I'm using boost on exit. Now there, I turned and hit the brakes to keep the yellow bar up, so that way I could use it mid-corner to accelerate up the hill. I know Elmo usually wins all his playlists because he's only 100 yards behind me. Everybody else is of an average skill set, and that's why they're 3rd, 4th, and 5th, but they're 300 to 500 yards behind us, if not more. Keeping a tight line through here, doing all right, nothing crazy. Trying to use the boost and get that yellow bar to get back up to speed. Now, with this car, if you're going really fast through here, you could probably be in 5th gear. Being in 4th at the top end of the RPM range allows you to carry the speed and hold on to it. I might be bouncing off the rev limiter a little bit, but better to be bouncing off the rev limiter and to being at speed than to lose a ton. So there, we use our boost to get back up to speed in 4th. I finally shift into 5th. Nice, easy turn through there. Build up that yellow bar. We're going to use it here. Boom. Accelerate down the hill. That's what you want to do here, you guys. Now you'll see I'm doing these little micro turns and tapping the brake to keep the yellow bar active, so that way I can continue to build boost. I only need a little bit to have a 3 bar. I use it and Tron turn out of there. A Tron turn is when I hit the boost and then tap the handbrake to corner really sharply. It's an advanced technique that's not the easiest to pull off, but it doesn't do too bad. I do a decent one down here. So you'll see me boost and then handbrake if you look at the buttons. It's a quick AX tap. It's boost and then handbrake. Turn sharp, accelerate out. Gap Elmo because he doesn't have the skills. And overall, that was a rough run. Pretty slow momentum. Not a lot of super great corners for me. The car doesn't have a crazy top speed, but overall, a 208 on blue collar is not bad. At least not for a non-meta car. So obviously the Corvette can perform. You just gotta drive it, you guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out and being with me today, you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.